UFC 291 just recently wrapped up, and I'm going to recap the entire card. I'll start with the main event and work my way down to the first fight of the night. So make sure you guys smash that like button, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Let's talk about our main event of the evening. It was Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier. Gaethje becomes the BMF champion. He knocks out Poirier with a high kick. Let's talk about the first round for a second, though, because in the first, Dustin Poirier was touching Gaethje with some solid punches. Yes, Gaethje was firing back a lot and ripping with nice low kicks, but there were some big shots for Poirier that seemed to have Gaethje hurt in the first round, and it was looking like, okay, Poirier's boxing looks pretty on point as long as he can be cautious, and avoid getting his leg chopped apart. He could get a potential TKO. He was looking smooth as always. Dustin Poirier looked good, maybe as good as ever. He was on point. But Gaethje, late in that first round, lands a decent shot in close, starting to feel like it's evening out a bit. Poirier had the big moment to hurt him a bit, but then it's getting more and more even and more competitive. Round two starts, a little bit of a feeling out process, but they started getting back to it. And then Gaethje sets up the picture-perfect high kick. He uses the, what's it called? I guess Leon Edwards technique, I will call it. He reaches as if he's throwing with a straight to kind of touch the face of Poirier and make him bring his hands closer, and then comes up high. Essentially a rinse and repeat of what Leon Edwards did to Kamaru Usman, the training partner of Justin Gaethje. So I'm thinking about it. I'm like, damn, training partner, same coach. Whitman, I don't know if he saw it. I don't know if Gaethje saw it. How do high kicks like that happen? Only in Salt Lake City, because that's where the high kick knockout happened last time. And there was 2 high kick knockouts on this card as well, which high kicks is not that common. So it was so epic to see 2 high kick KOs on this card, right? But the main event, I got to stay on track here. The main event was sick. Justin Gaethje becomes the BMF and now calls for a lineal unified world championship shot. He wants to fight the winner of Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. Tricky situation. The reason being, if Oliveira was to win, a trilogy fight would probably have to be next. If Makhachev then wins, we know Volkanovski is in the wings waiting, hoping to get a fight. Who went to Twitter immediately and said he'd slap Justin around? Conor McGregor. Is the money fight with Conor McGregor on the table? I feel like Gaethje wants the world title shot and feels that is more valuable than trying to fight, a Conor McGregor money fight. But at the end of the day, the pay that he will get fighting a Conor McGregor will outweigh what he'd get against Islam Makhachev. And with a win over Conor McGregor, that Makhachev fight is still there. Does he beat Conor McGregor? At this point, you got to say Gaethje's going to be like a 2-1 favorite at open if they fought. I like the idea of Gaethje getting a world title shot, but I don't know. Red Panty Night doesn't come around often. Would Gaethje not take advantage of that? Fight Conor McGregor for the biggest purse of his life? And it would be a pretty dope sellout. And then if he goes out there and he puts it on Conor McGregor, knocking him out, it just adds more to the hype. But then the argument is, what if he got caught by Conor? What if? What if? What if? Anything can happen in the fight game. I think Justin Gaethje looked damn good. Knocking out Dustin Poirier with a high kick is incredible. For Dustin, I mean, there's an argument that he could call, hey, well, let's do it again, but I don't think you're doing it right away. I think Dustin Poirier would need a couple wins. He's still a guy that's relatively in the mix at the top, but does he want to take on one of these younger contenders like an Arman Sarukian? No. Does he want to rematch Michael Chandler? No. Maybe a fight against Nate Diaz if Nate goes and fights Jake Paul and whatever happens comes back to the UFC. Maybe Dustin Poirier goes up a weight class trying to chase more like BMF fights. I just don't know if he's planning on reclimbing the ladder to the top by taking on the new guys on the come up. That's hard to say. It's really hard to say what Dustin Poirier is going to do. I could see him walking away even. So, time shall tell. Justin Gaethje, the baddest motherfucker, gets the BMF belt. Co-main event, Alex Pereira and Jan Błachowicz. Very competitive fight. and there was a lot of argument in my live chat about who got it, but I think Alex Pereira was the rightful winner. First round was a clear 10-9 for Błachowicz. Yes, he dominated position very well. Wasn't in any moment where he significantly was close to getting the sub and really didn't do much damage from the ground in the first round. More so just control and submission threats. Round 2, I think he lost the striking exchanges. He was looking gassed. Round 3 was close. And earlier in the round, Błachowicz was landing good punches with Pereira ripping at calf kicks. But then Pereira started coming on stronger and landing better punches and stunning Błachowicz a bit. He looked bad. The body language, even at moments where he's landing strikes, looked horrible because Jan looked completely gassed. Pereira had more bounce in his step. He's moving forward on Jan Błachowicz. The judges are looking at that, and I think they're favoring Pereira off body language too. And I do think he did enough to win, just enough. Now, I know, late in the fight, with just a little bit of time left, he got taken down. But there was no damage done by Jan. He landed the takedown, and he just controlled. Damage trumps all in this game now. Very close fight, split decision. I do think that it went to the right guy in Pereira. But I also understand how people could have scored the third round for Jan Błachowicz. It was a toss-up fight, super competitive. Pereira wins it now. And he's next in line for a light heavyweight title shot. And I think you set up one of the most violent fights of all time, Jiří Procházka versus Alex Pereira. It will be an incredible matchup. You have two guys that are incredibly dangerous on the feet. I think it's going to be some real samurai shit. That fight is going to be crazy. So double thumbs up to Procházka versus Pereira. It has to happen. For Jan Błachowicz, he's put in a weird spot. He could fight maybe the loser of Ryan Spann-Smith or even the winner. Maybe a fight with Anthony Smith is there. Johnny Walker fight couldn't be crazy far out of the question if, Johnny Walker, I think he's fighting Ankalaev if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on that, but if he did beat him, he just came off of a draw with Ankalaev. Jan's still at the top of the weight class, but he's far out from a title shot at this point, and he's nearly what? He's 40 in 5 months. He's about to be 40 and a half, so he'll be 41 next year. I think the odds are Jan's not getting another title shot, and Alex Pereira is going to be next in line for a fight against Jiří Procházka for the vacant belt, and I think it's going to be awesome. So double thumbs up. Count me in on that. Fight before that, Derrick Lewis, he got moved up from the prelims to the main card, featured bout. He showed up with abs. He jumped a flying knee, dropped De Lima in the opening seconds, followed up with ferocious ground and pound. De Lima was like trying to grab a heel hook, wasn't even there. And then Lewis on top, throwing bombs. De Lima turtles to the side. Lewis is coming after him with ground and pound. The ref jumped in. That was a true prime Derrick Lewis performance. I believe he, passed the knockout record even more now. Is it 14? Let me know in the comments what it is. I don't remember what they said on the broadcast. But Derrick Lewis is the UFC knockout king. Might be 16. And holy shit, he put it on De Lima in 30 seconds. 33 seconds, he was a big underdog. Everybody but me seemed to count him out. And he pulled it off. I'm fucking hype calling Derrick Lewis knockout and having him at big plus. I did think that coming into this fight, his power is going to be on display again. Was I expecting a flying knee to open up? No, but it worked. Derrick Lewis is always throwing crazy shit in the opening moments of fights. It makes sense finally that it works. So super happy for Derrick Lewis. Who knows what's next in the heavyweight division, rather, not light heavyweight. He's a free agent now, so wonder what type of contract he'd potentially get from the UFC or if he's going to have to look elsewhere. Very interesting predicament for him. Because it's not like he wants to go in and fight, the top-tier grapplers. He wants to fight guys that he can strike with on the feet at this point. A fight that does intrigue me has always been Rosenstruik versus Derrick Lewis. So I do hope we eventually get that. Maybe now, with him getting this win here, that could be a fight they set up. Derrick Lewis takes out De Lima. Sick W in the featured bout. Bobby Green strangles Tony Ferguson. Arm triangle. He put him to sleep. Listen, I got to give some respect to T. Ferg on the feet. He dropped Bobby Green in the first round. Still, Bobby was outlanding him. Volume was on point. Green's touching him with the boxing. Tony Ferguson was still throwing shots back, eating a lot, though. Second round, it's like more of the same, but Ferguson is still there. He's still alive. He's throwing shots back. He's making it a fight. But he was just outmatched in the speed department. He had a couple of moments, but T. Ferg at this point has taken so much damage. I just feel like he looks like a shell of what he used to be. Round 3, Green was ripping him apart. And then Bobby Green gets on top of him and strangles him, putting him out. Bobby Green landed some vicious ground and pound too. I believe second round is when it started. He's on top of Ferguson, just dropping grenades on him. And Ferguson from the bottom trying to attack triangles, but nothing's there. Nothing's there. Bobby Green, clean win. Tony Ferguson has lost 6 straight fights, and at this point is going out of the game similarly to BJ Penn. He's a legend, and he's someone that everybody gets excited to watch fight. I'll be excited to watch him fight again. The problem is, who do you give him? How does that even work? Is he going to do another one? I don't think Tony Ferguson wants to retire. But man, there comes a point when it's 6 in a row. Tony Ferguson at one point had this crazy good record. Looked like nobody could stop him. Maybe he beats Khabib. Now he's lost 6 in a row. 6 in a row. He was 25-3 at one point. Now he's 25-9. I think it might be time to hang up the gloves for T. Ferg. But I understand that he'll want to keep going. And there's money to be made and there's fan intrigue. But overall, it's rough to see him take these losses. Bobby Green, sick W. Before that, it was Kevin Holland versus Michael Chiesa. And I think this is going to be Chiesa's last fight. He got ran over by Kevin Holland. It was a one-sided ass whooping. Holland strangles him. Like, Michael Chiesa was like, I'm good. I'm out. Kevin Holland's jiu-jitsu, always there. Long arms played into him getting this sub. But you know what else looked good with Kevin Holland here? His takedown defense was so on point. He was stopping these takedowns from Michael Chiesa. And he hired a specific wrestling coach to work with him now. And it's showing. He's talking about this, though. Now with the BMF belt not being in circulation at 170, he wants to go back up to 185. I'm kind of interested in a fight with him and Chris Curtis. He was just getting going at 170, beating a crafty vet like Chiesa in dominant fashion. It wasn't even close. You think maybe he'd stick around. But at the end of the day, he doesn't want to do those hard weight cuts when maybe financially he doesn't see it worth it. Kevin Holland fights, man. He throws down. He's collecting checks and snapping necks, he said. He did it in this fight here, and he's getting paid good. Absolute savage W by Kevin Holland. Fight before that was the featured prelim, and Gabriel Bonfim destroyed Trevin Giles. This was one of those coming out party type of fights for Bonfim. He took Giles to the ground, controlled him early, was touching him up on the feet, ends up getting a freaking guillotine that is so tight. Trevin Giles is done. It was over. And then we get a tap, what? A minute 13 seconds in. It's not like there was a lot of fight. Talking about it, there sounds like there was more fight than it was. It was a minute. Bonfim is about to be 26, and this guy's so well versed on the feet and on the ground, it is quite scary for the opposition, man, because right now, he looks like another blue-chip welterweight prospect. Welterweight is shaping up to be the craziest weight class in the sport. Shavkat Rakhmonov at the top. Ian Gary on the come-up. Mike Malott there. Gabriel Bonfim. Rinat Fakhretdinov. There's guys I'm probably not even mentioning that are killers on the come-up. Bonfim looked nasty. And Trevin Giles been in there with names. He's fought tons of top caliber guys. And he's been in the UFC a very long time. And he's never been dominated like that. That was easy work by Bonfim. So, incredible win. I really think Bonfim's an incredible prospect. Fight before that, CJ Vergara got a decision win over Vinicius Salvador. Vergara's just more crisp with his punching. Salvador gets wild and he gasses. And Vergara was throwing straights, and he works well when he's throwing straight punches. He was touching and finding Salvador on the feet. He got a W that he deserved to get, and he wins it against a Salvador who looks dangerous and throws really hard. It's just a limited guy. Whereas CJ Vergara, good gas tank, well-rounded, not top tier by any means, but quality tier, I will say. Shows up in shape, has a 3-round gas tank. He's not going to slow down, and he's coming to win. And Salvador couldn't take it from him. So good win for Vergara. Fight before that, this was a highlight reel head kick knockout. This was the other head kick knockout on the card. There was 2 high kick KOs. Kopylov chins Ribeiro with a high kick starting off the second round. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Kopylov dropped him the first round. Kopylov was dominating most of it, but then Ribeiro catches him with a power right hand, and it's looking like it's more competitive, and Ribeiro's throwing bombs at him. The second round starts. It's like, all right, is Ribeiro going to come out heavy again? Is he going to land these big shots? Kopylov looks smooth from distance. Boom, high kick, KO. The gas tank of Kopylov is there. After the fight, Kopylov calls out Sean Strickland. Gotta love the balls on him. He's on a 3-fight knockout win streak. It's just he hasn't fought the upper echelon of competition that's going to give him the opportunity into one of those major spots. But he is a tremendously dangerous kickboxer, and I like watching Kopylov fight. He's shown improvement each and every time, and I think a lot of guys in the UFC got to be wary. Brutal knockout loss for Ribeiro. It was just such a beautiful high kick. Out cold. Oh, dropped. It was just, I think he came with the hammer fist too. Holy shit. It was like, Ribeiro, when he got dropped, what I remember is him just like being completely gone. It was like, holy shit. This fight was over as soon as that kick landed. Fight before that, it was Jake Matthews over Darius Flowers. Listen, Flowers came out like a savage throwing heavies, but Jake Matthews got the UFC experience, was putting it together on him, ripping with body shots, banging in close and landing better strikes. He was also in better shape. And then Flowers was able to threaten with wrestling a little bit early, but as he gassed out, Jake Matthews started taking over. And then Matthews wins the fight by a rear naked choke. It was done. It was done. Matthews was all over him, passing him out. Flowers covering up, rolls the back, gets the strangle. Jake Matthews with the win he was supposed to get, but respect to Flowers coming in on short notice. He's a fun guy to watch, and he's dangerous. Jake Matthews got a shitload of experience. He's only 28 as well, which is crazy. Fight before that, Uros Medic, with the only upset on the prelims, took out Matt Semelsberger with a spinning back fist and ground and pound after getting hurt in the first round. It was competitive in the first, but Medic was more brutally hurt. He got dropped bad. Semelsberger, he shaved the beard. He just rocked a mustache and then somehow lost the mojo a bit. Uros Medic's kickboxing is solid, and he looked large. He does not seem like an undersized guy at 170, which, seeing him on the scales, he didn't look that large. Knowing of his fights at 155, I didn't expect him to be that large. No, at 170, he fills out well. He comes in and he's got some size to him the next day. And Matt Semelsberger had a hard time with the kicks. He landed some big punches earlier on, but then Medic was taking over. Semelsberger fatiguing. He can't really take down a Medic. And then boom, big shots are landing in close. And I remember that spinning back fist that dropped Semelsberger and follow-up ground and pound by Uros. So great performance by him. I think 170 is the right move for Uros Medic moving forward. I'm impressed. And fight before that, Miranda Maverick, dominant grappling display against the heavy-handed Priscilla Cachoeira. I think everybody thought the fight would probably go like this, but we all had a little bit of fear in us because of Jasdavicius dominating Maverick in the grappling last fight. But no, Cachoeira had no answer. Maverick's wrestling was on point. She looked solid. She gets an armbar. Cachoeira tried to just do one tap, but no, then she had to fully tap out. It was fully extended. Maverick on the ground had way better grappling overall. Cachoeira 34, kind of one-dimensional, right? We know she throws heavy hands. She hits hard. Maverick's kickboxing was on point, though, and she was landing strikes on Cachoeira because I will say, not a lot of head movement with Cachoeira. Straight shots down the line start landing. She's loading up big right hands, trying to throw knockout punches, whereas Miranda Maverick has a more versatile kickboxing game and has the grappling. Maverick's still a good prospect. We can't write her off at 26. She's good. Dominant win, armbar, clean fight. Clean W. I want to look at the picks for the card. My official record was 8 wins and 3 losses, so I am pretty happy about that. Hit with the lock of the week, and my favorite underdog, Derrick Lewis, came through, even though Pereira at the time that I picked him was a dog as well. So double underdog savagery. We'll go through each one individually, though. Miranda Maverick won with her over Priscilla Cachoeira. Took an L with Semelsberger. I really think he would outdog Medic, but I underestimated the toughness and, honestly, Medic's gas tank as well. And Medic beat my guy Semelsberger, who I was confident in. Jake Matthews beat Darius Flowers, had that. Kopylov beat Ribeiro, had that one. CJ Vergara beat Salvador, had that one as well. And, honestly, you look, method of victory call, pretty damn money, right? Kopylov KO. Vergara decision, Bonfim sub, and I thought it'd be a guillotine. Now, that I think it was going to be that easy in the first, no, Bonfim's that guy. I had Bonfim Took an L. I thought that Chiesa had a shot to grapple Holland. Damn, was I wrong. I take that one on the chin clean. You guys can throw some fucking shots at me because holy shit. That was, that was a bad call. I really thought Chiesa would look better. He's done. I think that Chiesa looked like that was a career-ending type loss. He doesn't have it to the same level anymore. Regardless of if he would have won in his prime, he should have put up a better fight than that. He was covering up and like ducking low and just looking completely lost on the feet and in the grappling. He got destroyed. Darce choke. Good win, Kevin Holland. Bobby Green puts it on T. Ferg. It looked like we were about to get a decision for Bobby Green, and then he submits Tony Ferguson. I don't think anybody predicted a Bobby Green sub. It was like big plus 1,000, plus 1,200 money. And I picked Bobby Green to win, though. And the fight went similarly to what I expected up until the sub. Derrick Lewis by knockout over De Lima. I picked him by KO. He got the KO. Did I think he'd fly and knee it? No, but damn, it was beautiful. Alex Pereira, I had him over Jan Błachowicz. I'll be honest, I thought that left hook was going to land and get him a home run. Instead, he's in a competitive back and forth, and he was putting bad spots on the ground and survived. I'm grateful that he survived. We learned a lot. Pereira, he can survive some grappling attacks because Jan does have a lot of submission wins. So don't sleep on Pereira's ground game. It's evolving a bit. And him and Jiří Procházka is straight violence. Main event, I had Poirier. Gaethje pulled it off. Took an L there. High kick KO. Nothing to feel bad about with the BMF belt on the line. So the lock was Alex Pereira. Hit. Favorite dog, Derrick Lewis. Hit. Pretty happy with how the card went. Unfortunately, didn't cap it off with the main event win, but how can I be disappointed when Justin Gaethje just got a highlight reel knockout win for the BMF belt? As a hardcore fan and someone who loves the game, I'm nothing but happy for Gaethje. So overall, 8-3, pretty good record, pretty great night. Happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you tuned into the Fight Companion, I hope you had a blast. If you didn't watch it, well, I hope you enjoyed the fights wherever you did. Much love to all the people watching. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm dropping the full card predictions for UFC Nashville. I guess today, technically July 30th, though it's 1:24 a.m. by me. So I'll get some sleep and then drop it. Make sure you guys smash the likes if you haven't. If you're new, subscribe. Drop a W in the comments to boost the algorithm for your boy if you got nothing to say. But hopefully you let your opinion be known in those comments. Thank you all for tuning in throughout the week. I got a whole nother week's worth of content coming, so keep it locked in on the channel. Turn the post notifications on. Put them on all. Don't just have them on personalized so you don't miss a video. Much love, guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.